folks, this is Vicki at patternprincess.com. Today I wanted to show you how to do the chainless foundation single crochet. And I may have been using the wrong name before, but I actually like to call it the no chain single crochet, or I've actually in the past done the no chain double crochet. But either way, it's a different way to start off a pattern. I have two swatches here. Each one is 10 single crochets, and this here is the chainless foundation single crochet, and what you really do is you end up creating the chain stitch at the same time that you do your first single crochet. So this here, it is stretchy. You can stretch it apart. However, when you stretch it this way, it doesn't seem to stretch as much as the other. This swatch here is a normal, what you would normally start off with a single crochet, or I should say chain stitch, and then you do a single crochet into the top loop. It does look a little bit different. You have a little bit more of the gap in the bottom. I actually like to use this if I'm going to be putting a border around something, because otherwise sometimes that first row that you'll work will pull, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I have, this was just regular, I don't know, it's like a red heart yarn, nothing, nothing fancy, just so white. This here is a cotton yarn, and it might show a little bit better. I did a linen stitch on this. So this linen stitch, with a linen stitch you have your foundation, chain stitch, and then after that, in the fourth, so I'd be working this way. So in the fourth stitch, you do a single crochet, you chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, all the way across. So you can see in this first row, there's a lot of gaps, okay? See how that looks different than the rest of it? So let's say I'm going to put a border around this, or let's say I'm going to make some coasters, which, I happen to be making some coasters. If I had that bottom row looking like that, I don't know, to me it's kind of unsightly. It just doesn't look as nice. Now, if I did this, now again, I wouldn't necessarily be following the chain one, skip one right away with that first row. I'd end up, I guess I'd have to do a single crochet all the way across to be exactly the same, and then start with the linen stitch. However, when you do that foundational, that chainless foundation single crochet first, and then you start with your linen stitch pattern, look at how nice this looks. You see that difference there? This is why you'd want to use that. It looks really nice. So think of your projects. Now if I'm going to put a border on this bottom, the bottom's going to look just as pretty as whatever I end up with on the top. Because when you crochet your border into the top stitches, I don't feel that it, it doesn't pull. To me, it looks very nice. But this gives you a very nice unison look all the way around your blankets, your coasters, whatever you make that you're going to put a border around. So if I know, especially I'm going to have a, unless I have a lacy project, sometimes it's going to be, looser anyway. But if I'm going to have a little bit tighter stitch like this, I don't want to have on one end of it, it just is a gap. So let me show you how to do this. It's very simple. I just have a eye-size hook here, and again, just the regular, just the regular red heart white yarn. I'm sure it's red heart. I don't know. It's just a leftover skein here that I have, and so I'm going to show you. So I'm going to put my slip knot on. Oops, can't even get that here. All right, I got my slip knot. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, pull through and do a chain, yarn over, pull through and do a chain, okay? Then you notice on this very first chain, your yarn running through it, we're going to put our yarn underneath both of those top two yarn pieces. So we're going to insert our hook, grab the yarn, bring it back through, and then bring the yarn up to where it's about the same looseness or tension as the top chain, and then yarn over, pull through just the first loop, because that creates your chain stitch on the bottom. Yarn over, and then pull through two loops, because that's your normal single crochet, okay? So we're going to do that again. We're going to now insert our hook into those bottom, you see those bottom two loops? Let me see if I can show you this. These bottom two loops, just like you would your normal chain stitch. we are going to insert our hook right here into the bottom 2 loops, right there, of the previous stitch. Yarn over, bring it through, okay, yarn over, go through 1 loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops. Now let me stop so you can see what we've done. I had scrunched it up as I was showing you. I got to unscrunch it. So what you have here is you have like a post kind of a stitch here. Some people do consider this as their first single crochet. I generally don't, because it's really tiny to get your hook in there. I generally consider this first chain stitch as the first single crochet. So again, what you've created on those bottom loops is the chain, and then on top of that is your single crochet. And so we actually at this point would have 2 chainless foundation single crochets. But let me do this again. I want to make sure that you have it. And I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger and looser so you can see a little bit better, okay? So I've just stretched out my yarn here. So I'll be yarn over, bring it through 1, that's my first chain. Yarn over, bring it through the next loop, that's my next chain. Now I'm going to go back through that first chain right here and go underneath both of those stitches right here, or I should say both of those yarn pieces, not stitches, both of those yarn pieces, put my hook through, draw the yarn back through, bring the yarn up so that the tension's about the same on the top and bottom, yarn over, draw through again, just that first loop, yarn over and draw through both loops. Now we're going to make our next one by going through the bottom 2 yarns, okay? It'd be like going through both loops on the chain, yarn over, draw through, yarn over, draw through 1, yarn over, draw through 2. I'm going to do it again. So we're going to go through the bottom 2 loops. So usually actually as I'm doing this, I kind of like turn it upside down as you're working on it. Draw through, yarn over, draw through 1, yarn over, draw through 2. But it's actually easier if you have a whole bunch to do. I just flip my work like this, because you're going to want to go through those bottom 2 loops, and you just keep going on. You bring the tension the same, go through 2 more. Again, we're going to go through the bottom 2 loops. Okay, yarn over, draw through, go through 1, go through the next 2, and then we're going to go through bottom 2 loops again, draw through 1, and the next. I'm just going to continue to do a couple more here so you can see, and then I'm going to show you right side up how it looks again. You can see how it can go very fast, and it can be an easy pattern to do. So if you have a lot of them, it's okay. So it looks scrunchy now, but let's straighten it out. So now and remember, I did this loose so that you could see. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 right now. Okay, and then this here you can just tighten up with your slips knot. But this is one side of it, and this is the other side of it. And that's all that there is to it. And I'm going to pull it out and do it one more time in case you didn't get it the other times. Okay, one more time. Yarn over, draw through, yarn over, draw through. Go underneath the first 2 pieces of yarn, yarn over, draw through, yarn over, draw through the first loop, yarn over 2 loops, and then go through those bottom 2 loops, yarn over, bring it through, yarn over, go through 1 loop and 2 loops, and then you continue on. So hopefully this helps you. Sometimes it's, I do use a chain stitch in my projects. Other times I use this. It just depends on what you're going to do with your projects. But this is just really a nice little simple stitch, and I just love how the borders look when I put something at the end of my project. because it just makes everything look so pretty. And then here we go. I'll pull up a loop, and there we go. We have it done again. All right. So that is how you do the Chainless Foundation single crochet. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.